Hello everybody, Dark Phoenix Gaming here, and welcome back to Hearts of Iron 4 Kaiserreich with the Soviet Republic. Alright, let's see. Our national focus for additional infrastructure in a bunch of places has finished, so we're going to move on down to introducing communal workshops. That will give us civilian factories and infrastructure in a couple of different provinces. And it will unlock the ability to go for agrarian workers and arm the collective. So 1.5% more recruitable population and 6 rubber production in our own territory, as well as 12 steel production, 5 oil, more resource gain efficiency, and a buff to our max factory estate, which is going to be very handy. So then we'll be able to have the more resources, because more resources equal good. Now, just a few days away from being able to declare our war on Tibet, and essentially just walk right in and make them ours. Their territory, that is. And there's our war justification finished. So, immediately, we will declare war on Tibet. And let's find the appropriate army here. Yes. Attack. I'll bring down the speed a little bit. Oh, lovely. I haven't called in the people whose territory we are sitting in, the Mongolian People's Republic, so we can't launch attacks from within their space. I forgot that this game had that, where you can't attack someone from the territories of another nation unless you're both part of the same war. It's not attacking from within the territory of another nation, even a puppet, isn't something I do very often, so I honestly forgot that that was a feature in this game. But for now, we will just crush them. Of course, it'll probably take some time, just because the infrastructure in this space is kind of shit. I'm going to have to devote some of my own industrial powers to building up the Mongolian People's Republic's infrastructure so that it's actually halfway decent. Because otherwise, they are going to screw this up horribly. Let's see. 21. The People's Republic is also being attacked, but they don't really need to worry about that, because it's Tibet. As we all know, Tibet is not going to manage to pull anything off correctly. Siam has allied with Japan, co-prosperity sphere. So they're now basically Japan's only ally, and are probably going to start taking bites out of the Japanese colonial empire at some point. Because I think that's an event or national focus thing where Japan basically gives up their claims on Malaysia and Indochina and get them as an ally in return. I think that's how it worked, though I could be wrong. French Republic has declared war on the Commune of France. So now they've decided that since France is caught up in their whole conflict with Germany, now is a good time to jump in. So we might have some issues as far as France managing to beat Germany is concerned. Fairly certain we will. France is probably going to get torn to shreds and become a German puppet state, actually. So I may have to push back my plans for a war against that region. Just because it would be kind of unfeasible, most likely. Considering how they are likely to not exist, and how Germany will probably have a fairly easy time winning this. But I could be wrong, and I kind of hope I am. Now, let's see if we can't push the envelope a little bit. You folks also attack there. Help them out. Peace conference. Isulindia was annexed by the Dutch East Indies. I have no idea who that even is. When did this happen? Oh, I didn't notice that. Apparently the Philippines are allied with the Bartia Commune and are currently getting invaded by Australasia. Well, you guys have fun losing that war. I'm sure it'll be great fun for them, truly. Yes, will definitely be great fun. Improved artillery upgrade finished. Now let's pick up rocket artillery. Or actually, production efficiency cap might be a better choice. So let's go for that. See if being more aggressive doesn't help us out here. Getting through them. That one... Oh. How did we manage to get a bloody stalemate with frickin' Tibet? That's what I would like to know. It's Tibet. They exist to be conquered. For crying out loud. Just a little bit ridiculous, you have to admit. And yes, I am mostly being sarcastic about they exist to be conquered then. Mostly. Let's see. Modify government. I'll put you in that position. You don't need a chief of the Navy. And there's not an Air Force base near enough to where I am to actually be of any use in this. Improved computing machine? Hello. Decryption. I'll have you next. Now go on. Of course it would be the bloody mountains causing the problems. Maybe I shouldn't have attacked Tibet. If we're going to have this much of a headache getting into there. No, I should have. Definitely should have. See if we can't at least squish them. I do have to do that. We appear to be winning there. And in most places, even though some of them don't look it. Attack there now. Keep pushing forward. Oh, you're going to try and take that province back, are you? I don't think so. I do not think so. That one seems stalematey right now. You guys finish up over here. Only a handful of divisions everywhere. We should do fine. Try to actually win that fight, please. Alright, you attack there. Do not move on to somewhere else unless I actually bloody tell you to, morons. I swear. I love this game, and Kaiserreich is basically my favorite mod of all time. At this point in time. Well, favorite mod for a strategy game, to be precise. But sometimes the battle plan AI is just dumb. It really is. It's just stupid sometimes, and will attack places that I previously told it not to, even though nothing has changed, and refuse to attack places that have obvious weaknesses and could easily be taken over. I don't think I need to elaborate on why that's dumb. I imagine most people have probably figured out the answer to that already. About to take that place, though? At least I think so. Central America has joined our communist friends. No. Attack those idiots. We'll just steamroll our way through. And keep on pushing. hopefully we can make it towards the capital of Tibet and successfully crush their asses. That would be quite nice. Take that. Victory points. Didn't notice this before, but our infantry equipment is outdated. So go over to the next level of production, and that's a lot of equipment we'll need to upgrade. How are things looking over in Europe anyways? Somewhat of a stalemate, but the Commune of France appears to be losing ground. And they just lost the province. As I say that, the Netherlands controls all of Normandy, basically, minus a few little places. So I think the Commune of France is inevitably going to lose this one. And Germany has more than enough divisions to kick my ass and march all the way to Moscow and just annex me if I try to make a fight of it right now. So we're going to have to put off any campaigns into Germany or its puppet states to get back our old regions for a good long while. We're going to have to put it off at least until we're in a position to make a decent fight of it, which is going to be a while, probably. Oh, Grammar Cracker, hello. Sorry I didn't react to your presence sooner. The game deleted all your units once as Spain? Interesting. I've never had that happen before. I did have in an older version of the mod, though, of Kaiserreich, where I went through the motions and everything to become Soviet Russia. But then, when I did, it deletes all of my battle plans and everything. I've had it delete my battle plans and unassign all my units. I'm done with communal workshops now. So give me that collective arming bonus to population recruitment now. So yeah, I've had it delete battle plans and unassigned units from armies, but I've never actually had the game straight up get rid of units. And yes, I agree. Hearts of Iron 4 is definitely broken in a lot of ways. If you've been... I'm not sure if you were in any of these particular streams, but it's pretty common whenever I stream this game. I go off on a bit of a tangent about how shitty the battle plan AI is, where it likes to do things like I tell it to stop attacking in a certain location, and it immediately starts attacking again. Which is absolutely lovely, as I'm sure you'll agree. And yes, stuff like that. Honestly, if it wasn't for Kaiserreich, I probably wouldn't have put anywhere near as many hours into this game as I have. Just because this is my favorite mod in the entire universe. At least my favorite strategy game mod. I have plenty of overhauls, mods and stuff for Skyrim and things that I like more. Oh, would you look at that? We have a little bit of alternate history for an alternate history. British politician and former Lord of the Admiralty Winston Churchill has published a new book, part of an emergency genre known as alternate history and concerning the Great War. The story takes the perspective of a young British soldier returning from a victorious Gallipoli campaign amid a world radically different from our own. In this timeline, Theodore Roosevelt and his Bull Moose Party win the 1912 American presidential elections, leading to an American entry in the Welt Creek and an Entente victory. A defeated and partially occupied Germany is gripped by constant economic and political crises, witnesses the defeat of the Whites in the Russian Civil War, and is cooed by a bitter and extremely nationalistic Adam Dressler. He leads the German Workers' Party, who follow the ideology of People's Socialism, an extreme version of national populism. The novel ends with the beginning of a three-sided war between Dressler's New Reich, the Western Entente, led by the dominant British Empire, and a Soviet Russia, led by Sergei Kirov. The book has divided critics, with some praising its attention to detail, while others criticize it for large flaws in historical logic. Churchill has commented that something like this could have happened in another universe. Yes, what a ridiculous fantasy, honestly. Where do they get this nonsense from? That is so bloody hilarious. It really is. Where do these people get their nonsense from? Honestly. An Entente victory at Gallipoli. How absurd can you get, really? Haha. Now, let's finish off these imbeciles here, I think. Shouldn't take too long. Not yet. 99. Let's squish their army. That particular portion of it. And of course, the troops of our puppet don't want to actually start fighting that battle there, because that would be far too reasonable an expectation to have that they actually participate and help us accomplish anything. Research into infantry offensive is done, so we'll go down one more on the mass mobilization route. Large front offensive. Buff to the organization of our infantry and tanks. And spend a little bit of experience to make it happen faster, I think. Ugh. That is a shitty airbase that we've got right there. So I can't really put any number of planes there. Not in a quantity that would actually make a difference anyways. Attack over there, please. Actually do something to help out would be nice. So, you take that place. And we let them throw themselves at us like the idiots they are. The Bay region has supply issues, of course it does. Yes, this is Asia, and as we all know, Kaiserreich Asia, the supply in basically every region is kind of crap. Because why wouldn't it be? Sending in a few people in a few different locations to try and beat the crap out of everyone. And it seems to be going relatively well. You head over there. How about with that? How's everyone else doing? how long until you two get deployed over here, so I can go after one of these nearby places? Well, they're already attacking. Well done, you. Well, I suppose it's kind of reasonable. We had a bit of an advantage there, so it makes sense that they would want to press that with an attack. That army there's coming in. I'll just have them go there, though, instead. Peru has joined an alliance I don't care about. That's nice. Japan's declared war on the Socialist Republic of the Philippines. Oh, good. For one horrifying moment there, I thought it would be Japan has declared war on me. Because Japan likes declaring war on the Soviet Russia for some reason. It's one of their favorite pastimes, is going to war with Soviet Russia. I think Japan in Kaiserreich has a bit of a war fetish. Shocking, I know. Get your asses down there to help them out. You fellows can attack there. We're doing decent at the moment. I have those guys over there cut off from the capital, meaning that they will be starving for supplies in the near future. I can use that to kick their asses. After we finish with that, you can swing around to there. And then up to there. We'll take as much of their territory off them as we can during our attack. No. You attack their capital and see if you can't break through to them. At the very least, get that army in retreat. And we have succeeded with that. Shouldn't be too long until we occupy their actual capital, though. I've got them about 20% down in terms of waiting on victory points. And we'll see what they're looking like once I have actually taken their capital in terms of their surrender progress. Let's see where to go next. So that has them at 50%. We're still going to need a few more, but this has made some good progress. Up here, once I wipe them out, I'll be in a far better position than before. And the armies that I detach from that to launch my own attack and get those guys back, or moving back into their position around them. But they are boned at this stage, I think it's fair to say. Paraguay has capitulated. I don't even remember what Paraguay was at war for, or who they were at war with, so I can't bring myself to care, to be honest. Let's keep pushing over here, conquer them without too much trouble. I'll deal with my military factory setup after the war's over. just because I want to focus on fighting and winning the actual war right now, rather than anything else. Yes. You can help us crush them, and we'll get through with that fast as possible. Approaching a 90%er here. Very excellent indeed. Ow. That's a victory, and we'll be taking that bit of land off them. Over here, we're doing even better. They've effectively been wiped out. Have these idiots. So it's at this point, Tibet has stopped being a challenge in terms of being able to resist me, and we're just mopping up what's left of them right now. This war is over. We just have to formalize it. Now we'll take their capital, and that should convince them to formalize things, I hope. Well, their provisional capital, seeing as they lost the actual capital, and still appear to be slightly hesitant to actually surrender. Get your butts up there and help out with that. Otherwise we'll probably lose that one. And delay us even more. For victory here. Decryption is finished. We can be even better at that. So let's get better at encryption as well. Just in case. I'm not actually sure if the AI takes into account what they know about your forces when deciding whether or not to attack you. But I want to do it anyways. And we've just opened a new atheist museum and finished researching better machine guns, so hooray for that. Now, let's research radio, ages after we should have done. I probably should have done that a while ago, but I was more focused on researching other things I cared more about. Still, wish I had done it earlier. Oh well. Approaching down there, and here. Let's see if we can keep up our attack. Just march on as much as you can. I don't think we're going to encounter any actual resistance on that end of Tibet. Over here is where what passes for resistance is right now. And we're finishing off this province. Then we can attack the provisional capital and be done with it, as far as Tibet's concerned. And that'll be more manpower coming in soon. So we'll take the other one and just boost our resource production. Now you are cut off from everyone else, and we'll be taking you over soon enough. Polish Socialist Republic has joined the Third International. Well, fuck. I was waiting to see if, once we dealt with these guys, we could annex them. But if they're part of the Third International, I'm going to have to destroy them in order to get my rightful lands back. But at the very least, maybe it'll distract Germany and keep them from finishing off the French. Though I would say that's probably somewhat unlikely that it will actually manage to distract them that long. Okay, you take that next province. Keep on pushing, yo. We'll eventually have that's what we came for. Though it would appear this battle here is going to last a fairly long while. Can attack over there. That one doesn't look like it's running out of steam anytime soon, that's damn sure. Oh, dear God. How are they managing to last so long? They should have started to run out of supplies at the very least. But that doesn't appear to be the case, shockingly enough. Or if it is, then it's not showing too well that it is the case. But they are starting to lose more and more. So that's helpful. And some machine tools. Okay, we're just about done with Tibet now, and I know I've said that a lot, but this time it's actually true. But I think we're going to need to take their now provisional capital before they actually surrender. That's another reason why I'm not assigning my factories, because what little bit of factory we got from occupying Tibet is going to go away once we make them into a puppet, which is what I intend to do. I'll take some battlefield support doctrine, and for some reason we have no theorists. I have no idea how that's the case, but it apparently is. And next month I'll be getting this generic arms company. We can have better attacks and breakthroughs. There you go. And there goes all of our political power as well. And we now own that place. They're out of victory points, and we have totally occupied them now. You can surrender. I will permit it. Haha. So, we'll annex Tibet. And I'll make them my puppets soon enough. We have finally gotten above 1 million manpower, though I don't believe that will last very long. Army 4. We're going to assign them over here to the Kingdom of Ukraine, who I think is going to need some extra forces. We eventually do get around to doing something. Of them. Paste. Now it's time to decide what we do about Tibet. Fate of Tibet and fate of Northwest China. I'll go with fate of Northwest China first. After our successful campaign in the steppes of northwestern China, we now have the task to establish a new local administrative authority in order to restore peace. However, there are several options for our choice. This will create Mark-Leek as a puppet down there, and then I'll do the same thing in Tibet, create a independent, quote-unquote, Tibet. Commune of Tibet and Zibei Commune. The Zibei Commune has dude with no portrait as one he has in charge, which is kind of annoying. Now, I'll add 2 more factories to our infantry production to deal with that. And hello, Tomat Y Gaming. Do you mind if I just call you Tom? Because, yeah. But, hello. I just finished conquering Tibet. Ironically, as it turns out, and in a somewhat amusing twist for being Soviet Russia, I had more difficulties conquering Tibet than I did conquering Afghanistan. Hashtag 20th century political jokes. Now, of course, the thing that is absolutely crucial to do after we've made new puppets, make them the same color as my country. Clearly, it is utterly crucial to everything. That our puppets be the right color. Utterly, utterly crucial. They're going to take some time to get over to the west after that little war. And oh, would you look at that? The Iberian Federation is currently fighting Portugal. And I need more rubber. You don't have enough of it, goddamn you. Japan doesn't want to give me any amount. The British don't either. Commune of France don't have enough rubber to give to me. Abyssinia, you're fucking worthless. Hey, Burma. That's a pathetic amount of rubber. Philippines is awful too. What about Siam? Yeah, let's just double the amount we're trading with Siam. And Ching here is going to be the next one I attack in Puppet, I think. Or maybe I should just cancel that particular claim war. It's not like we'll get a whole lot out of it, honestly. So I might just cancel it. Besides, we'd be fighting someone with a bigger army than us. Yeah, I'm just gonna cancel that claim. Going after them would be kind of pointless at this stage. So, delete that order. And then give you one to go stand over here on that border. Get everyone over to the west for now. Excluding the armies that I have doing guard duty along the Japanese border, of course. Because I think we're going to need those at some point. Though I'm trying to delay us needing armies along the Japanese border for the time being by not annexing the Transmore Republic through my national focus. Because I find that if you annex Transmore, Japan has a tendency of going to war with you. This is when you're the Soviets, I mean. They do so love to do that. Not sure why. I think it's their little hobby got going, or something like that. Let's see, how are things going on the war front over in the west? Well, let's see. German East Asia has made a little landing in southern France. The French are fighting back the Germans a bit up here. But northern France is still controlled by the Netherlands. Yeah, that's a thing. That is a thing. Germany is also busy destroying Poland, who decided to both go communist and join the Internationale when it's in the middle of a bloody war. Not their smartest move, I have to say. Oh, and the Iberian Federation is fighting Portugal over here. Because the French Republic attacked the Commune of France, and the Iberian Federation is allied with them. and Portugal was part of the Entente, along with the French Republic. So they've got themselves in an interesting little situation right now. They really do. It's a bit of a mix between a stalemate and just kind of desperately trying to fight off their enemies. Because the Commune of France isn't doing so hot, and Paris is currently under attack. So I predict that they will fall in the not too distant future, quite frankly. Just because their capital is literally within striking distance now. And basically their entire northern coastline, with the exception of two little provinces here, has fallen to the Netherlands. So I don't think the Commune of France is doing so great right now. And they're also busy fighting. They're also currently busy fighting back invasions from the south. So it looks like this is not going to be a communist victory game that we're getting here. Sadly, I may actually end up having to abandon those western territories that we wanted to get. If things go badly enough, I may actually have to abandon those. For now, atomic research time. We are going to get ourselves the ability to make nukes. That I may have... Warsaw has now fallen. I'm thinking that will be the end of Poland. Once described as the Paris of the East during the Renaissance, Warsaw has hit rough times in recent memory. There was hope after the Weltkrieg of renewal, but alas, fate has not been kind as the socialist Polish army collapsed trying to defend the city from both sides of the Vistula River from the advancing Ukrainian forces. In a bitter twist to old memories, the royal castle in Warsaw has been plundered again by socialist Polish forces, and before they fled the city, according to the Kingdom of Ukraine. The Polish Socialist Republic hotly contests this, claiming Ukrainian troops ransacked the palace after heavy fighting. Regardless, with the fall of its capital, the future of the Polish Socialist Republic is in jeopardy. Yes, so it's been Ukraine doing that fighting, and Germany just gets it because they're the war leader, I guess. The occupation, I mean. We'll see. They don't feel up to capitulating just yet, though. So that's interesting. But the Germans and Ukrainians have basically crushed Poland. Their fall is just a little bit away. And most likely, we'll see where things go with them, but I don't think they're going to manage to exist for much longer. I mean, just look at how little of them is actually left now. It's embarrassing. Obviously, their leader doesn't know much about diplomacy or picking your fights. Otherwise, he would never have joined that alliance with the Commune of France. Now, let's see. Poland. How long are you going to exist for? That's what I want to know. Well, we're busy remembering the death of Lenin, so I'll have that free stability, thank you. Poland managed to take back a whole one province. Well, I don't think that's going to accomplish much for them. But we have our extra resources now. So, let's see. I'm going to pick up something else on this national focus tree. Transcontinental broadcasts, I guess, seeing as there's not a whole lot on there left that I care for at the moment. I'll go on to the perpetual focuses eventually, but I don't really care about them at the moment. And at the moment, I want my manpower to build up. Enough, I would like to have a couple million, maybe, if I can manage it. Let's see. Yes, and the thing I knew was going to happen has happened. The Polish Socialist Republic has capitulated. So they're dealt with, meaning Germany and its allies can now send literally all their forces over to the west to fight the French. France's downfall is now even more inevitable than it used to be. What I'll want to see after France falls, though, is who gets what, because the Netherlands controls the northern coast of France. So I wonder what the peace treaty will look like. Since I imagine the Netherlands will have quite a bit of power in that ensuing treaty. So that will be the thing that I want to see. What the post-war Europe is going to look like. Fortunately for us, we did have the collapse of Africa. So Germany is not getting their boatload of resources from Africa anymore. They do have about 200 divisions probably on their own, however. So I'm not going to be starting anything with the Germans just yet. And yes, those few provinces in northern France that were holding out have now fallen to the Netherlands. So the Dutch and the Germans are now going to be fighting France to try and make them surrender, as per usual. Portugal and the Iberian Federation, though, those two seem to be in a little bit of an unofficial ceasefire. Doesn't look like there's any real fighting going on between them, but they are definitely still at war. Another atheist museum. Thank you very much. Now, I guess we waited to see what happens with France. Because as things are right now, it would basically be suicide to try and attack Germany. I don't have anywhere near enough men to pull that off. Right now, yeah, we have 146 divisions, maybe, if I pooled everything together. That's including the stuff I have guarding the Japanese border. And I really don't want to pull that off there. Well, Germany has almost 216. So even if we include everything, they have probably about 70 divisions more than I do. Which I would really rather not test my ability to take them on with a smaller army. When throwing numbers at my enemy until they die is my typical strategy as Russia. So it would not work out, is what I'm saying, basically. Let's see here. So, that war's pretty slow going at the moment. Let's check out the Americas. Oh. It's pretty stalemate-y at the moment. Front lines seem to have stabilized. And CSA has still not managed to take over the Union State. But they've stopped the Pacific states from taking any more of their lands, so that's good. I could probably wipe out Bhutan and Nepal without too much trouble and just give them to Tibet, honestly. But I think I won't bother for now. So now it might be time to start assigning battle plans to the armies that we have hanging out over here. That's our first one. Second one would be against White Ruthenia. It's going to be a while until these plans come into effect, so I have the time to set them up appropriately and reinforce my armies a bit more. There we go. That's a good one. 7. 7. You guys. And have another battle plan set up for White Ruthenia. Wouldn't mind attacking them from using multiple armies. Army 4. And you don't have to go down. There, just deal with the main part, I suppose. And those two armies are in charge of guarding the border with Japan. Those battle plans will suffice for now. Let's see. Solidify control. Sacrifice a bit of output for a little while to improve my control. 5% party popularity. It'll get me above 50%, which would be nice. I'll take that. Large front offensive is now completed. Let's research the next thing. Human wave offensive. Increase the recruitable population, reinforce rate, and slightly decreases infantry combat width by 0.4. I'll take it. I will take it. Now, Sweden's apparently sent volunteers down to France to help them out. You have fun with that. The Netherlands appear to be doing well, but it's still a bit of a stalemate with France. Again, not sure how I feel about that. On the one hand, France isn't defeated yet, meaning there's a chance Germany and their allies will take some more casualties before they are defeated, which would be nice. On the other, nothing's bloody happening. So that's kind of a bit dull. Oh well. We'll just wait and see what happens. Portugal. How are you doing? Not so hot, it would seem. the Netherlands taken over a little bit of that. As has the UK. So they're definitely gonna lose this, are the communists. I'm just not sure where I go from here. Because generally, in my experience, if Germany wins the war without taking too many casualties, is in the battles, and are still at relatively high strength, by the time they've defeated their enemies, then I will lose if I attempt to take them on. The same's true if the Internationale wins. If they manage to knock out the Germans without taking a lot of losses, then they will be too strong for me to take on. And as things are, it's likely they're not going to take the amount of casualties I would need to be able to defeat them. But I could very well be surprised. I suppose we can't know until the war actually ends, so I will just wait and see what happens. But one thing I think is pretty sure, the Commune of France is most likely going to be gone by the end of this. We will have to see what the post-war order looks like, though, because that would be rather interesting to find out. And what the Netherlands gets out of this massive amount of participation. The Philippines have now capitulated to the Australasian Confederation. It's a partition between them and Japan at the moment. The Bharatiya Commune Dominion of India are still at war, so that particular conflict is going to end relatively soon. Most likely. The fall of Paris, so it finally happened. Paris has fallen. Reports from Paris confirm that the Communard capital has been captured by advancing Dutch troops. After furious fighting across its large avenues and the Seine, Communard forces put up stiff resistance, hoping to delay the Dutch forces for as long as possible, but were eventually beaten back. As shocked Parisians looked on, the Dutch army paraded through the Champs-Élysées. I am probably butchering that pronunciation, by the way. And towards the Eiffel Tower. This festive atmosphere eventually devolves into vicious urban combat, however, with Communard resistance in the dead of night, and Dutch forces easily plowing through inefficient barricades in the large Parisian avenues. And yes, it seems that the fall of the Commune of France is now all but assured. I do wish there was some way that I could check what the surrender progress of other countries was. I mean, besides tagging into them. And I don't want to just tag into France or Germany to check on their surrender progress. Because that would give me a bit of an unfair advantage in terms of information about their troops. However, they're probably fairly close to a surrender, I would hope. 6 million manpower. Now saved up. Make that 2.79. I mean, I suppose I could just tag into the Dutch and use that to check France's surrender progress, but I would rather not. I really would rather not just do that, but I would like to see how close they are to giving up. Let's see, their war support is 100%, their stability is 82%. So they probably need to have a good number of their victory points occupied before they surrender, even if their capital has fallen. But a lot of their coastlines is getting taken over, so that can't be good for them, certainly. These are better fighters. The Netherlands is making a good deal of progress in this war, though. They've taken a vast amount of the French coastline, so France isn't going to keep control of their coasts for very long, I don't think. Not if this keeps up. And that would quite thoroughly screw them over. Not having a coast, or effectively a navy at that point. Okay. I'm just probably going to keep on watching how things are unfolding with France, the Dutch, and Germany, because that's the most interesting part of the world at the moment. Everything else is kind of dull right now. But this, it's like watching a sports game or something. I really need to see how things are going. And all the back and forth thing. That's kind of nice. Germany's just picked up a whole bunch more divisions. Looks like. And they're doing very well for themselves. So, who's grabbed up that? Sardinia, apparently. That's right. They are a puppet, if I remember right, No, they're not a puppet, my bad. Member of the Entente. Alongside the French Republic. That would be why they're participating. And that's France retaking some more territories. How many troops do these guys have? Only 198 divisions. It's not enough to actually make any real difference. So they just end up taking back a province or two here and there. Annoying to their enemies, certainly, but not exactly what I would call a critical threat to deal with or anything. Yeah, France, they are basically just sitting here and letting the Germans beat them up. Well, the Germans and the Dutch, because the Dutch are also involved. And I don't really think I'm going to commit to declaring war at this point. My army is just too small to take on Germany, and that's if I was fighting Germany alone, which I'm not. And unfortunately, I don't think the German army is going to get decimated thoroughly enough for me to be able to do a good enough job in a war against Germany. That's an unfortunate thing that just tends to happen whenever I play Kaiserreich. It's just something I've noticed. What with the way that I play, that is. At least as Russia, I should clarify. Basically, whenever France wins the war, they seem to win thoroughly enough that I cannot exactly participate. Well, let me pause for a second and see if I can think of a way to describe this. So, who wins the war generally depends on whether or not I'll be able to capitalize on that and destroy them to give myself a dominant position in Europe, because I frequently seem to end up in a position where there aren't any valuable allies on the mainland I'm going to use in order to defeat my enemies, or to help me defeat my enemies. If Germany or France wins, the only way I'll be able to do anything with that is if the one who lost did enough damage that they managed to make a mess of the other one's army thoroughly enough that I can, using the troops I have by then, roll on in and just crush them. But I don't think that's going to be the case here. As you can see, at the moment, France, I would say, probably has about 160, 170 divisions. Germany, probably 260. So, I'm not really going to be in a position to take on either of them and win. And it'll take me a good long time to get into the position where I could do that. So I'm not sure, after the war between those two concludes, for how long this series will go on for. Because we'll be at a point where there won't be a whole lot I can accomplish besides conquering random nations around, which is nice and all, but it tends to get dull after a while. To be honest, it does tend to get a bit dull. And even if I was to conquer the whole of mainland Asia, minus the Dominion of India, as well as even if I somehow managed to take over every country other than the ones in Germany's sphere of influence and the Entente in the entire world, I don't think that would enable me to really do anything towards Germany, because there's not enough manpower, and those individual countries don't produce enough troops that I could really do anything. And with those gains, unfortunately. So, it's extremely likely that unless something unexpected happens, that the end of the war between Germany and France is going to be the end of this series. Although I might put it off long enough to conquer the Ottoman Empire and all their puppet states. Because I think taking over Constantinople would be kind of a nice thing to do. And being able to add all of that to my sphere of influence would make for a nice ending. So that's at this stage what I'm thinking will probably happen, just as a result of the way things have panned out during this playthrough. It's going to be difficult, if not nigh on impossible, to manage to defeat either Germany or France, whoever comes out on top. Yemen declares war on Muscat. Okay, you have fun with that. So yes, as a result of that, I might have the war that ends this series be against the Ottoman Empire and its subjects, rather than against the Germans and their sphere of influence. Unfortunate, and it wouldn't have been my preferred way of doing things, but it's looking like it's going to turn out to be like that, quite honestly. Central America is just capitulated. It's the Commonwealth of Canada. Who's fighting Mexico? So yes, that would be Canada's participation in the war. They're just going after any members of the Entente, which includes Mexico, actually. They're probably going to have the same problem that I will. Not enough forces available to them to actually make a decent fight of it. At least that's how it's seeming right now. That gives me another research slot. And the next thing I'm going to go for national focus is the one that gives me a research bonus to nuclear technology. So we can produce nukes. If I can get enough nuclear weapons stockpiled, I may change my mind and decide to actually go after Germany. And see if recruiting a large enough army and having enough nukes is significant enough to make a difference. Look at the next slot of concentrated industry as well. And, you know, I was thinking, at some point or another, I might actually come back and do a live stream of Kaiserreich, but the Darkest Hour version, rather than the Hearts of Iron and 4 version, just to kind of show off the differences, because Darkest Hour Kaiserreich was the first version of Kaiserreich I ever played, and I literally bought that game to be able to play Kaiserreich. So I think it would be kind of nice to show it off sometime, and I might stream that at some point. Not anytime soon. I'd want to take a tiny little break from Kaiserreich and stream something else in the place of it, if things do turn out like I'm thinking they will. But that's something to consider for the future, is what I'm saying, basically. Let's see here. France, same number of divisions. Germany, same number of divisions. This war is going to be going on for a very long time, I'm pretty sure. Yes, it's going to be quite long. That much is for certain. So, don't expect us to be done with it anytime soon. Let's see, how long do I want to keep going with this live stream, though, seeing as there's not a whole lot of stuff happening right now. I'll keep going, I think, for, say, another 20 or 30 minutes. I think that would be a good idea. And then I'll probably stop it. By then, I should hopefully be into 1942 or 1943, and we'll be a decent ways into things. And I can pause the stream there, and I'm thinking also that since I'm fairly certain things are going to turn out the way I said they would, what I will do is, instead of, and let's get us a tank designer for artillery. Yeah, as I was saying, since I'm fairly certain things are going to turn out like that, what I will do is, instead of finishing up with a stream for the last of the series, I would do the final bits, let's just say, of this campaign. France finally getting around to their surrender, and me conquering the Ottoman Empire and all their subjects as standard recorded videos. I'd upload them on Twitch, same as I do my YouTube videos, but I'd also put them up on YouTube. That's what I would do with my plan for that, I think. Just so you're aware of that. So you'll be finding those in either location. God, these soundtracks from those Kaiserreich music mods are so epic. I just love them. They really are just great. Just great. Really great. Oh, let's unassign everyone from there, so I can stick them down on the borders with the Ottoman Empire. And get ready for that. Here in the Caucasus. Let's start with the first one. There. that. That, and I'll actually no. That's that. And I'll reassign another battle plan afterwards. You fellows. And you assigned over here. To attack. Over to there. You can also take the Caucasus, because I think I want a large group of dudes there. Assign yourselves to there. And there. Now, you sit down there. And we can get our battle plan set up. And then actually, that set up a plan right at a later date, depending on what happens. Okay, find the battle plan with no units, please. I might just ignore that. For the time being. Okay. That. Now I need to remember to set this up correctly, because I was an idiot. There. Another plan. Alright. I do wish it would tell me which armies it was that had these. Which armies it was that I'd set those plans with, but never mind. I can do without, I suppose. There's my battle plan set up for attacking the Ottoman Empire. Plus, I'm also going to have to deal with Egypt and Tripolitania. Most likely. But this war with the Ottomans, I think, would be a nice, good note to end the series on. Seeing as we're most likely not going to be able to fight off the Germans, going after the Ottomans is a good second, especially considering they control both Egypt and Persia now. so it'll make for a nice dramatic finish in the war. I'll just have to remember to get some Air Force into position and all. And apparently, I was not building infrastructure. Or building anything, really, around here. So let's do something about this. There we go. That'll be a decent chunk of infrastructure. And also, I'll get a couple of air bases going on. There. And we'll just put a bunch of air bases on the border. So I can have as many planes as I need. I'll give them all the highest priority. That way the planes will finish first, because I think I'm going to need planes more than I will better infrastructure, even though better infrastructure will almost certainly be very helpful. Being able to have all the planes that I need in position along the border, I just think would be handier. Okay, the Netherlands are still doing well, controlling most of the French coastline. They can sit around and keep doing that, I suppose. The Baltic economy also appears to be about to collapse soon. So isn't that lovely? Since that's just utterly, utterly lovely. Just look at how near collapse the Baltic commune is. They'll go down pretty soon. Not much I'm fairly sure of. I don't want to know what how long until capitulation rate looks like right now, because it's probably going to be fairly unpleasant. As in, probably just a handful of provinces, or rather a handful of cities away from being made to surrender. Not that I mind. I don't care about them, they're irrelevant, so yeah. $2.95 million manpower, and we're maxed out on that at the moment. Can't do extensive conscription unless I'm at war with someone who is stronger than me and has more estimated strength. So, probably going to take a while before that's a thing. I could deploy some aircraft and the handful of bases we got along here, but I think I'll wait until I'm able to deploy more. And when those aircraft and those air bases finish, I got quite a few of those in construction to help you the war against the Ottomans. Okay, so honestly, in spite of the inconvenience that is the fact this war will most likely not result in me getting these territories back, in spite of that, I'm fine. I think things have gone really well this session. I got a bit more territory in hand, and things actually started to happen over here rather than being an eternal stalemate, which is nice. Would you look at that? The British are invading Italy. That's gonna shake things up a bit, for sure it is. The wave offensive is done. More recruitable population by 5%. So I'll get the last one on the list. Guerrilla warfare. Enables guerrilla tactics, buffs who are out of supplies, and effects of our partisans on other people. Spend some points on it. Look at that. It looks as though the Iberian Federation may end up capitulating to Portugal soon. Wouldn't that be funny? The war between the Entente and the Third International ends with Portugal becoming the dominant power in the Iberian Peninsula. That would be kind of amusing, wouldn't it? Well, it would for me at any rate. Our project Make Nukes is done. So I am going to go down to the continuous focuses. And we're going to pick up suppress subjects so that our puppet states don't start getting ridiculous ideas like independence and self-governance. We don't want them getting the idea that they have the right to rule themselves, because that's just silly. And we need to prevent them from trying to plan such silly ideas as self-rule. We also need to upgrade to producing the next type of fighter. Even if it does kind of hit our production of fighters a little bit. Now, it looks like it's not going to be 1942 by the time I finish for this time around. I slightly misjudged that. It will still be 1941, but the middle of 1941. We'll get to 1942 next time, I guess. And the Iberian Federation has capitulated, just as I was saying they would. To the French Republic, though, not to Portugal. Some of their territories are not going under the control of someone else, probably because the Frenchies are helping them out. The other Frenchies, the communist ones, I mean. So everyone else around here will just clean that up. And I bloody forgot about researching air doctrines. God damn it. I do this all the time. I get such a razor focus on one thing that I completely forget about another. Like in this case, I'm so focused on getting my land combat up to snuff that I forgot that air doctrines were a thing I had started to research. I'm such an idiot. Honestly. How is it I keep doing this? It's ridiculous. But yes, the Iberian Peninsula is kind of a bit of a clusterfuck right now, so I'm probably going to have to not acknowledge that area on the map, or it will offend my eyes on the deepest levels. It will just offend my eyes if I look over there, I'm afraid, so I will simply have to not look, I think, is the best solution. Now, though, I'm going to wait until the day hits the 1st of June. Almost there. That's going to be my stopping point for this stream, I think. The 1st of June. Okay, 31st now. Drop the speed down to the lowest it can go. And the Yas. First of June 1941. I think this would make for our stopping point. So I'll save the game. Time to turn off the UI. So, I am going to end this episode here, I think. So, it's been Dark Phoenix Gaming. You've been watching the Hearts of Iron 4 version of Kaiserreich. as the Soviet Republic. Hope you'll join me for the next and probably final episode of this series, where we will be making war on the Ottoman Empire and watching the French die to the Dutch and the Germans, and possibly a tiny bit to the French, but probably not, because the French haven't been going after the French very much. Anyways, I hope you'll join me for that. And if you've enjoyed this and want to catch these live, then please check me out on Twitch, twitch.tv/DarkPhoenixGaming92. And like, comment, and subscribe if you're watching the VOD on YouTube. Thanks so much for watching, and I will catch you next time. So long for now, everybody.